Hey guys, welcome back. Apologies, huge apologies really,
Sorry.
for such a long hiatus. We both had a very busy week last
Busy.
week. So we left you on tenterhooks, hopefully, waiting for the second semi-final. Just to refresh everybody's memory, we saw Finding Nemo make it through to the final last week in a tightly contested match with Monsters Inc. Ended up you guys voting Finding Nemo through, actually. So we'll see if today is as tight when we have Toy Story, you know, the OG, the one that started it all. Buzz and all that. And we have The Incredibles. Oh, that was the back, my little incredible man. So as usual, as we have done throughout this whole challenge, we will be looking at the idea of both, the aesthetics, the characters, the plot, and the entertainment value. And we'll be seeing if we can split them and who will be making their way into the final to go up against Nemo and Co. So without further ado, let's see what we think of the idea. In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And it's an easy win for Toy Story. Why Toy Story for you?
I think it's easy, you know. Toys coming to life. The whole, how we said, of Buzz believing he's a toy, believing he's, I can't even speak.
A real space ranger.
Yes. You know, just all of that.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to The Incredibles.
Yeah, no, I think we obviously spoke about it last time, that probably as ideas go, Incredibles probably has the least original ideas out of all of the films in this, because it is a superhero movie sort of at heart. And so, yeah, I mean, the idea of toys coming to life is brilliant, really, isn't it? That, you know, they act like toys when you're not around, when you are around. Sorry, when you're around, when you're not around, they are real living, breathing beings. So I think quite an easy one to start us off.
Toy just brings something with it, as it being a toy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. Which I think obviously will, you know, that will tie in more later with the characters and the plot and everything else that we have. So we have an easy, I would say, pretty easy decision, that one. Early 2-0 win for Toy Story. So we'll see if The Incredibles can make any headway in the aesthetics. In 3, 2, 1. Okay.
I know you said that you did like it, to look at it.
Yeah, no, I said obviously last time that I liked the sort of exaggerated proportions and everything like that of the film and of all the characters in the film. So for me, with this one, I would say quite an easy one. I mean, Toy Story, obviously, at the time, absolutely revolutionary.
And I think that's what I just think of and remember.
Yeah.
I think of Disney Pixar and I think Toy Story. And I kind of put myself back then and I'm like, wow, even though I know, like, looking at it now, I remember when I first saw Sid and thought, oh, wow, that looks so old. But I still remember at the time it being like a wow. So I think I just have to hold it for it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think, to be fair, I think it has that sort of long lasting wow. For me, I think the thing that Toy Story suffers from is the newer films. So because I watched Toy Story 4 recently and then watched Toy Story, you realize, I don't want to say how poor Toy Story is, because obviously it's not, but just the difference in how far they've come. Whereas with a lot of the other films, they don't have maybe that same, you know, a lot of them are standalone films. Obviously, Incredibles does have the newer one, but a lot of them are a bit more standalone. But yeah, I can understand obviously why you'd go for Toy Story in that. So we have at the end of round 2, Toy Story 3-1 up, heading into the characters. Oh, this is a tough one. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and we are split again. As I said, you know, I mentioned last time when we were discussing The Incredibles how much I love Dash. I think he just is an absolute hero. He brings so much entertainment for me. Everything he does is funny. I also, big fan of Edna. I like the family. Frozone's a solid character. Even Syndrome, I don't mind. Whereas with Toy Story, I do think I've tried to look at Toy Story as an individual movie rather than a franchise. And I think characters like Woody, Ham, Mr. Potato Head, they grow throughout the series. So from like Toy Story 2, 3. Yeah, but I feel like you love him more because you know that Toy Story 2.
I love him from the film. I'll give you that, because I realised actually Woody's not that nice a character in that film.
Yeah, no, he's not.
And I was sad that I don't like Woody. But I'll give it to you. The Incredibles family, very likeable. Edna, love. Jack, not so much. But I think with me, it's almost all the other toys as well, like just the little parts that they play. The aliens. I think Sid's a great character, actually.
Yeah.
And his sister. And, just like the army men, the Etch-a-Sketch, everything that each one brings, me, I just love those little entertaining bits. So for me, that got it.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair enough. And like, there are, to be fair, a lot of those characters there that you mentioned, I had forgotten about. There are a lot of little characters in Toy Story. So I think it's quite a tough one, that one, but I do think it's a fair one. So that leaves us at 4-2 to Toy Story at the end of round 3, heading into the plot. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. I will have to go with Toy Story on that one, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, actually. You discuss. I'm going to think still.
Again, for me, it's the toys leaving the house, getting lost in the real world, Buzz's realization, but then even them going to like Pizza Planet and then being with the aliens. It's kind of that kind of toying up and down. And then at the end, like we both said, when we loved, and actually is Buzz flying kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that really makes it. And then how I loved Sid's toys, because I forgot all about that part of it. So yeah.
Yeah,
for me,
no, it's true. There is a real journey, and like the sort of, it's funny because like looking back, it's almost the story of Buzz.
Yeah.
Like, which I would never consider Toy Story to be. Toy Story is Woody's thing. Whereas like it's quite, I guess it's the story of Woody as well. But like
Woody's horrible and
and Buzz is just, but Buzz actually shows such amazing growth throughout. And Buzz should be in charge. Yeah, absolutely, go Buzz. But I think the Incredibles is good as well, though. Like plot-wise, the idea of them going, into hiding, and then everything.
I did say I like the idea, of them being this regular family.
Yeah.
And
I guess
Mirage, but
what I would give it is just the sort of, it's fairly predictable. Not that you need it like outrageously unpredictable, but even like the idea that Buddy grows up to be Syndrome, and sort of there's no, I guess, surprise kind of thing. Then they come together and save the day, which is really nice. But yeah, maybe it sort of ties a bit more into the idea as well.
You're kind of like, where will this go?
Yeah. True. Okay, I'm going to stick with Toy Story. We'll give it to Toy Story, which gives Toy Story an unassailable 6-2 lead going into entertainment value.
Well.
So 3, 2, and 1.
I think we have our favourites.
Yeah, I mean, well, you've gone. That's a whitewash for Toy Story for you, isn't it?
As I've said throughout, just the characters make it for me, and each bring something to it, and the different scenes. I enjoyed each location. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I think
The jokes
for
were
me,
in
like,
there,
you
you know.
know, I love me a superhero film anyway. I like the way this is done. Like I said, I love Dash. Like, I think
And you
Dash is
can quite many a
genuinely
Dash
funny.
thing that makes
Yeah,
you laugh. Yeah.
exactly. That's what I mean. Like, genuinely funny. And yeah, I really, every single time I watch it, I think this is genuinely one of my favorite films, which I think there's probably not many films that I watch and feel that way about. So for me, quite easily, like, I would happily watch The Incredibles after we finish this video. So yeah, very, very, very sad. So round up, obviously, we end with a Toy Story 7-3 win.
I think that's good effort for Incredibles.
No,
I
I had
wasn't
a
saying I didn't
feeling.
like it. Up against Toy Story, it couldn't win for me, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, it's true. I knew that really I would have to lie and cheat to get it to be a draw, because I knew you were going to go Toy Story all the way, and then I feel the fans will probably vote for Toy Story 2.
So we have a look.
I had no chance, but yes, let's see what the world thought.
Are you in agreement with me? I'm afraid so. We're looking at 80% Toy Story.
That's fair enough. You know, I do appreciate it. I do understand. I do think
big film, you know.
Yeah, but I think more it's a bigger franchise. I think people have emotional connections to it because they grew up with it, and it has kind of it's got 4 films in its catalogue. I also think, you know, really and truly, if you ask a lot of those Toy Story people, they would let you know that Toy Story 2 is actually a better movie. So shout out to Toy Story 2, who should be the real winner out here. But I guess Toy Story comes as a franchise. So it sets us up quite nicely, I think. Toy Story up joining Finding Nemo in the final. I feel Finding Nemo is
my prediction, I think.
Okay, well, there you go. You know, if you want lottery numbers, you know who to holler at. So for the final, what do you reckon? Do you have a prediction for the fans for the final? Or are you going to keep your cards close to your chest?
These are my top 2.
Yeah.
It's actually really hard to think about because I really, really enjoyed watching Finding Nemo.
Mm.
My instinct is Toy Story, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, I guess we'll see. For me, both my favourites are out. You know, I have no horses in this race any longer. A Bug's Life didn't make it too far. And the Incredibles also gone. So I will be very, very objective, very honest about my feelings of the 2 movies we've got coming up. So we will look forward to that. We won't leave you guys with as much as a break as we did last time. We will be recording and releasing the final this weekend. So do tune in for that. Lucy will be putting up the vote on the Instagram. So make sure at Pebbly Productions you follow, and then that way you can vote on there. Also subscribe so that you know when the next videos are up. And we will see you guys.
Will be a tough one, so
definitely. Hopefully a tight-fought final. So we will see you guys very soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.